autographed the gas tank.
So does he have bike number 1?
He does have bike number 1.
Oh, okay.
There's only one thing.
So this, what?
There's only one thing I hate about this bike, and it has a dirt bike kickstart.
Oh.
It's the only thing I hate. This is a Kawasaki 1000 police motorcycle driven by Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon 3.
So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. Door cup
Everything is
on the inside. So this is really, and my uncle had a Cadillac. He had the coupe version of this.
Oh, the DeVille coupe.
He had a black one. We used to call it the Batmobile. But, and he used to, this is, so guys, this is how my uncle used to sit in the 70s. They didn't sit towards the window like now. Back in the day, they used to sit way over here and drive. With all the kids in the back, we were all trying to stick our heads out the window. But this is very cool. Still has AM radio, but it does have some of the signals and stuff like this, and some of the switches, and it's got an amp on that. And then look back here. Now this had to be originally an ambulance, I would assume, at some point, because it would be too hard to make one. But very cool.
We have Slimer.
And Slimer's right here. So very neat. So again, this is a really good idea, guys. When you come to visit, we've been all over the country, 650 videos, and very rarely do you ever get to actually even touch a car, let alone sit in them. So this is a place to come for everybody who's a car guy to check this out, because the VIP is worth every cent. So look at that. Very
Next vehicle we have is a Willys Jeep from Fantasy Island.
Oh wow.
Now it's more recognizable being all painted white, which is understandable. But there was one episode where a specific celebrity came to the island and they decided to paint the Jeep pink for that person.
Okay, and who was?
I just don't remember who.
Oh, okay. So there you go. There's homework. Go check it out. Put in the comments. Grease Lightning.
Now this is one of our most sought after cars, which is fair. It is Grease Lightning from the movie Grease. And for those that have watched the film, they remember the barn find, the dream sequence car, which was this paint job. And then there was the final car with a slightly different paint job. This is the dream sequence car, the one that drove into heaven, or I should say flew into heaven. The plexiglass hood with the Chevy big block or small block in there, I think is what it actually
Small block dual quad.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
V8 has the Firehawk rims, even though the original ones were Firestones.
Right.
They had to get replaced because they were old. Kind of want some good tires on here. The paint, by the way, this is probably one of the most protected cars we have, due to the fact that the paint is worth $95,000.
That's what I was gonna say, guys. We've seen tons of paint jobs all over the world, and this is like a mile deep. I mean, I have no idea how many coats.
It's metallic flaking, the whole works.
It is crazy.
It is a phenomenal car.
It's more beautiful in person than a lot of times you'll see a car on TV, and it'll look better on TV than it will in person. This one actually looks better in person than it does on the big screen.
Unlike the Inspector Gadget, it looks better in the movie than it does in person, but it's still a phenomenal car to see. It is a 1964 Lincoln Continental with, personally, my favorite door style.
Suicide door.
Suicide door.
Sweet.
Now, it got this name due to the fact that families would buy cars like this, and in the middle of the drive, their kids would actually open the door, and these parents thought their kids were trying to commit suicide. So this door is now kind of hard to find.
Right.
It's more commonly found on work trucks, Rolls Royce, and Bentleys. It's also the reason why the child safety locks exist. But this is actually screen views from both live action movies.
And that's pretty, and that had Matthew Broderick, right?
Yep.
Pretty fun car.
18.
Everybody's favorite van.
This is the best van in the world, in my opinion. Now, it is one of 2 surviving stunt vans out of 30. One of the upsides of it being such in good condition is the fact that it really only did the burnouts.
Okay.
I did some research, come to find out, they went through 32 sets of tires, which is a lot of tires given the fact they only did the rear burnouts.
Right.
That's 128 tires for those of you who are not so good at math. But what allowed them to do it successfully was those eyelets would actually be hooked to cables. They would then lift the car up a little bit off the ground so that way there's not too much rubber. But even when you see a real burnout, there's so much smoke that it's completely covering everything back here. So to prevent that from happening, they took a fan, put it about right here, and allowed the fan to blow the smoke towards the back so you can still see everything.
And it's got NASCAR, the Gen 4 NASCAR side pipes in it. Very cool.
But it's from the original TV show, not the movie.
Okay.
The Monkees mobile. Some interesting things I found out about the Monkees is, one, they were 4 random people they pulled off the street.
Right.
Not a single one of them knew how to play an instrument when they first joined. By the end of the series, they then became an actual band, which prompted one year for a reunion.
Right.
Well, they decided to make this a reunion tour vehicle.
Okay.
So they can go back and do a concert tour. I, personally, even though it's not its official name, is I call it the mullet. Because when you think about that hairstyle, it meant business in the front, party in the back, which kind of fits this car, and here's why. Business end of a 1965 Pontiac GTO.
Right.
V8, the whole works, even though unfortunately
Blower's
supercharger
fake.
blower is fake.
Yep.
But then that party end. The party end is actually a modified 67 Chevy El Camino.
Okay. That makes sense. And guys, if Mike Nesmith's mom hadn't invented whiteout, there might have been more Monkees, but he decided he just wanted to have all her money instead. The Saint with
Saint.
Nice. Oh, Volvo, okay.
So this is a Volvo P1800 actually used in the Saint. But for those who don't know what the Saint is, it was a sort of James Bond-esque themed TV show. And the best bit of information is Roger Moore, who starred in the Saint, used this as his resume to get him the role of James Bond in the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
Speaking of 70s and 80s, Star Wars. Now, if you're looking at this Hummer H1 going, did I miss a Hummer somewhere in Star Wars?
Yeah.
No, you did not. Although we can all agree it would have been awesome to see this car in the movie. However, in the 90s, George Lucas was making an enhanced edition version of the original trilogy and promoted a contest through Taco Bell called Field of Force. The grand prize was this Hummer H1, actually autographed by George Lucas and the cast members. However, in here we only have the truck. We do have the autographs, but they were all on the passenger sun visor, been removed for their safekeeping due to the fact they are authentic.
Right.
Then we also have a mannequin of Vader, everyone's favorite bad guy turned hero at the end, because we all love him, let's face it. And these were actually designed to help make the costumes for David Prowse due to the fact that he was a professional bodybuilder and wasn't always on set.
Right. So that's actually the actor who played Vader's real height.
Yes, 6'8".
So guys, I am 6'1.5". And you can see Darth Vader was an imposing figure.
Yes, he was. He was tall.
He is tall.
And here in the what I call the island, we have a Renault from Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, this is actually one of 2 used throughout the film. The way that these were designed is the dirt was painted on, damage was pre-done. There's actually 2 of them that would actually have out in the battlefield due to the fact that the day constantly repeats itself every time Tom Cruise characters dies. Now this is a bit of a spoiler and I apologize, but in one of those repeated days, Emily Blunt's character happens to get killed and thrown into the windshield of this car, hence the dent here. That was just one of the 2. The other one is more commonly seen them always leaning up against.
Right.
But if you look carefully behind it, you'll notice some interesting vehicles. The Dragula and the Munsters Ford coach.
Now the Dragula, how long have you had this for?
It's been here longer than I've been here, and I've been here for over a year.
Okay, because this, if it's the original Dragula, oh guys, the guy the kid who plays Eddie Munster has a Dragula, and he brings it down to Fort Myers to a car show at the casino down there all the time.
The reason why I know ours is technically not the original is due to the fact that it was actually functioned to be an actual dragster.
Okay.
Based on the music video that Rob Zombie did.
Okay. So this is the Rob Zombie.
It's the Rob Zombie rendition. Another reason why it's the original gravestone read the legend born 1367 died ? Ours says revamped 2000 at the bottom.
Gotcha.
That's the biggest giveaway to true fans. But it has a record down at quarter mile, which is 8.2 seconds. I'm saying 1.8.
Wow.
I have it way too fast. But yeah, 8.2 seconds, which I know is not the best record for funny cars, but given the fact that this is a fiberglass casket, this is not light. It was fast.
Yeah, it's the fastest casket I've ever heard of.
We'll get to the coach in a second.
All right.
This motorcycle here, this first one, is a fan favorite, especially those who've seen Easy Rider. This is the 1996 Easy Rider film starring Peter Fonda. And this is bike number 2 out of 2. This one was built in case the first one broke. Now, fortunately, the first one never broke. At least until the movie was over. So unfortunately, this bike never saw screen time. When we had this at our original location down in Miami, before we moved to the museum here, Peter Fonda actually visited and saw that we had the bike. And he explained to us that apparently some paperwork went missing. So there was no confirmation on whether he had the original or we had the original.
Right.
So we did some serial number digging, some VIN number finding, and we have verified we do in fact have bike number 2. And he was so gracious to us doing this information search for him, he autographed the gas tank.
So does he have bike number 1?
He does have bike number 1.
Oh, okay.
There's only one thing.
So this, what?
There's only one thing I hate about this bike, and it has a dirt bike kickstart.
Oh.
It's the only thing I hate. This is a Kawasaki 1000 police motorcycle driven by Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon 3.
All right. Remember that one.
This is the one I had the shortest bit of information for. It is a Honda dirt bike, screen used in a TV show called Street Hawks.
Okay, I think I remember that years ago.
But this Suzuki dirt bike is from a film called Megaforce. If you haven't heard of Megaforce, but if you've seen the musical film called Rocky Horror Picture Show,
yep.
The husband Brad, just picture him in a Mad Max scenario, and you get Megaforce.
Gotcha.
In fact, Barry Bostwick autographed this for us. Deeds, not words, Bison.
Should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.
Where it says merchandise store right here, merchandise store link, you will see it says https:/junkyards-barn-finds, and you click on that and it's going to take you here.